Hey, what is up, you guys? You're watching Team APS. I'm with Trell here. It's been quite a while. So, in today's video, instead of talking about, all these great things in Yu-Gi-Oh!, we decided we would take a more cynical approach. And we're going to talk about the 5 things that Yu-Gi-Oh! Does wrong. Maybe it could do better compared to other games, such as Pokemon and Magic.
And let's be honest, we always take the cynical approach. So.
Yeah. Now, this is actually more relevant to you because you've been playing Pokemon a lot recently, haven't you? Right? A little bit?
Don't be ratting me out like that, man.
But you're a traitor to the cause. but it is some more perspective, though, so that helps.
Yeah. But I have been playing a lot of Pokemon here lately. And I still play Vanguard as well, too.
Yeah, that's true. So, what would you say is the first, kind of thing Yu-Gi-Oh! Does wrong when you look at it in other games?
Compared to other games, just seeing how things are so free, especially in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can search 1,000 times, the game doesn't have enough generic draw cards. And I say generic objectively, but regardless, it doesn't have enough draw cards. Every time we get a good draw card, it becomes a staple until Konami's like, we got to get this card out of the game. But in my experience with other card games that I played, they have plenty of draw cards, and they become staples, and so you know they're good and everybody's going to play them. But the game is like, hey, you know what? Even though we know everybody's going to play them, they can still keep them. Everybody's going to play them. We shouldn't take them.
Pokemon has a few of those, right?
Pokemon has plenty of.
What are they called? Is it Rare Candy?
No. It's like Professor Sycamore. There's just so many. Professor Kukui. There's a card just the letter N.
And is it does it just say draw 2 cards from your deck?
Professor Kukui says draw 2 cards. Give it your attack does 20 more. Professor Sycamore says discard your hand, draw 7 new cards. N says shuffle your hand back into your deck, draw cards equal to the number of prize cards you have left remaining. There's Pokemon that let you draw cards. There's other effects. And
so it's not even necessarily just free draws, but sometimes it's still just
there's still a stipulation, but it's the fact that there's enough of them. As you know, a lot of other games you have a copy. You can run 4 copies as opposed to 3. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, you're still running a lot of draw cards. You're still cycling through your deck just as fast as you would in Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's draw, and we all know that. Well, especially if you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know that searching is actually more dangerous than drawing because drawing is random.
Yeah, drawing is random.
But
searching is like you get exactly
what you need to make your plays to extend. So my thing is, as opposed to giving it so much search, because everything Yu-Gi-Oh! Now is a search, give it this random generic draw cards. Everybody's gonna play. That's fine though, because everybody's playing them anyway.
I think it's actually a really good segue for me into my second thing I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not do well. And it was okay at first, but it's bad now. There is no energy system. Pokemon's got energies, or Magic has lands. There's no resource system in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right. So the big problem with that is you can just whatever you draw in your first turn is just free range. You can just go nuts. Yeah. And that's I feel like why Yu-Gi-Oh's gotten into all of these FTKs and crazy nutty loops, hand loops and combos.
Huge unbreakable
because
boards.
Everything's just free. And so I think it's kind of similar to what you're saying, where you can't get draw cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's too dangerous.
It is.
It's if Pot of Greed was around and Graceful Charity, it's you can just draw these cards for free and there's nothing stopping you from immediately using every single thing you draw. And I think that's also kind of tied to Yu-Gi-Oh! Having 40 card deck minimums and stuff, where I guess with the deck being so small, having a card that lets you draw 2 or 3 or whatever is maybe harder.
Thing. Yeah.
But I think that's more Yu-Gi-Oh's fault. Because I agree with you. I want draw cards.
Yeah.
I wish that we had things that weren't just bad, Reload, Magical Mallet, but actually good draws. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Can't afford to do it. It's too
FTKs, things like that,
fast and too consistent. And it's weird because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has only 3 copies of cards. And I know a lot of games have 4 copies of cards. But I just think Yu-Gi-Oh! Not having any sort of resource, any sort of thing stopping you from just busting your load on turn 1 means that it doesn't get to actually add those types of things in.
Right.
I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically now it's far too late to add any kind of energy mana thing. I guess maybe that's what Link Monsters were trying to be.
I think Link Monsters were meant to be that reach the energy thing where it just slowed down the game a bit. But of course, like you said, the decks are small. You have 5 cards turns into a 30 card plus in your first turn.
Yeah, loop your opponent's hand away.
Yeah, loop a hand, make a big board, and
that's how you end up with this long ban list that just is full of all the. But anyway, yeah. So definitely, I think those 2 things are probably really related.
They are, unfortunately.
Now, another one that you mentioned earlier actually is, since you play the game or you've played it recently, what do you think about the price? I think that would be
And that's another thing too with Yu-Gi-Oh. We already know, and everybody, you always have people on two sides of the coin. You have the people, the not necessarily pro players, but a lot of the people that top a lot and all that, they don't mind the price being expensive. I mean, as opposed to others, because they're here to win the game, so they don't care about price. They know it's part of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also the other people on the other side of the coin that say, "Oh my God, that card is whatever amount of dollars. I'm not paying for that." And once again, I play a lot of the card games, and I see that I'm not saying that there are no expensive cards in other games. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when it comes to hype and when it comes to decks and staples and things like that, Yu-Gi-Oh is consistent with hype prices being just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even in Pokemon, I'm not saying Pokemon has never had any expensive cards because we know that they have. But even currently, like right now, there's a lot of decks you can build for not a whole lot of money, and like the highest card would be like what's called a Tapu Lele. People who play Pokemon know what that is, but I call it like maybe $40, $45, and a couple of those is like $90, but everything else around it is a lot cheaper. Their staples are like $5, like a Professor Sycamore is only a couple bucks if that. And that's one of the staple cards in the game. Whereas opposed to Yu-Gi-Oh, if it's a staple and it becomes something good, hype price automatically $30, and we gotta hope that it goes down and hope that it doesn't go up.
And I've always said for the last couple of years that Yu-Gi-Oh's been a more affordable game than in the past. But
True.
then in this last maybe like 9 months, I don't know, it's gotten a little bit bad again because it's like I don't mind a deck being expensive. Like I don't mind the idea of okay, this deck is top tier and it costs you a lot to make it. That's fine, but I think that the problem I'm having with the game now is that more cards are like things that you need to compete no matter what you're playing, and they're expensive.
Extremely
so
expensive.
You've got like these $70 Ash Blossoms, and you've got like evenly matched.
And you need more than one.
Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, this
can't
is
just
the type of
have
thing.
one.
I kind of want to manage. No, you have to have like 3 Ash Blossoms, and you have to have like 2 or 3 evenly matched, and there are a couple other examples where it's like. I don't want to play necessarily like Spirals, not Spirals anymore, but like I don't want to play like the best deck. I just want to be able to go to a regional or play locally and like stand a chance. And to have that, I have to have like 3 Ash Blossoms, and it's just. And yes, eventually these cards get reprinted.
Eventually.
But by the time they do, there's something new. Like right, there's going to be a new good staple, and
it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, like Pot of Desires was kind of that card for a while.
Pot of Desires was like an $85 card, then it went up to like $90 card, and it finally got reprinted. Before then, you needed the card. It was such a good card, you had to have 3 of them. Like everybody was running at least 2 or 3 of them.
And then something that sucks too is what you were saying with Pokemon is like most of the cards have similar prices, like they're all really cheap.
Yeah.
It sucks in Yu-Gi-Oh when your deck itself is fairly affordable, but then it gets heavily like weighed down by these $80 Ash Blossoms.
Right.
It's just like why?
This is my plain everything coming budget deck. But I run Ash Blossom, so this $20 to $30 deck just became $250.
Yeah, it's like
off top.
That's always been.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
It is.
Now I've got another one.
What you got?
And this is kind of a weird one. Not so much related to like playing the game, but Yu-Gi-Oh's products are ugly. I know that's rude, but okay. Whenever you go to Target or Walmart or whatever, I think of like when I was a kid and stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh products always look so like bland
compared to other products.
They're not bad, but have you ever gone to a store and actually looked at the Pokemon stuff on the shelf? I don't know if like they have a deal with these department stores where they prioritize the shelf space. Right. They probably do, but the products are so much more like bright and colorful,
flashy.
And they got the monsters are like embossed onto the package and they're shiny and everything, and they give you more.
Yeah.
Like in a Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck, you get the deck.
You get the cardboard box
with a little bit of plastic and all.
Yep.
But in Pokemon, they give you what? Like
they give you pins, you get little figurines, you get
the
dice,
coins
counters,
and the dice and. And like sometimes there's even like all that stuff included in one package thing, and really cool. I think that they also do a better job in Pokemon of like branded merchandise.
Yeah,
sleeves and binders and stuff seems like it's more readily available than Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess
it is. It actually is. And like I said, I mean, presentation is everything, and so that's probably why Pokemon has lasted as long as it has. To be honest with you.
And just so this isn't a Pokemon only comparison, Magic the Gathering actually merch wise does a really good job too. Yeah. They send local shops like shirts and I've seen more like playmats are easier to get. Yeah. For the longest time in Yu-Gi-Oh, you didn't get actual playmats easily. There was no way to easily get a playmat.
Right.
Or anything, you just kind of had to like win it at a regional or like buy it online. And if you were a kid and you maybe didn't know, then
you just
what do you do? So I think that's something that like Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess like other games do well. Just better packaging, better like just looking
Yeah,
stuff.
just make it more attractive. I mean, obviously people are still buying this stuff. I mean, that's here or there. It's just the fact that if you're, like you say, if you're a kid, you're looking for something to get into. I'm just saying, there's gonna be another game that's gonna take your eye before Yu-Gi-Oh does. If you're just looking at just the product itself.
Right.
So.
And I guess that's kind of a good segue into the last one that you were mentioning. It's like prize support, right?
Yes.
Or even just play support.
Just support in general. I just feel like, it's not that we don't think that Konami doesn't care. It's just that other games seem to care a little more about just their players and not just participation in general. And like you say, we're not just trying to make this a Pokemon. Get up in
they want to see you.
But yeah, just like we're not gonna make just a Pokemon video. It's just that I do have knowledge of Pokemon and things like that because I've been playing and I'm learning stuff. But like just for being there, they give you stuff. Just for participating in this. Here you came to our regionals. Here, take this stuff. It's really cool. Whereas with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, all right, we're gonna take your money, go have a seat and do your best. It's just like
maybe
you just don't feel. Yeah, you just don't feel as comfortable. You don't feel as a home. Exactly.
I would almost say.
I mean, cause let's be honest, these companies make a lot of money off of us every weekend. Because there's an event every weekend, and depending on how big it is, even more money. And I'm not saying that just means they just have to pour it right back into it. But at the same time, like you said, you want to feel appreciated for what you're doing, especially if it's something that you really like.
What's the prize support usually like? Like, what types of things do they sometimes give?
Talking about Pokemon or just
in any game you've played, but Pokemon, I guess.
Well, like Pokemon, they have there's deck boxes, sleeves. You get participation mats. You get pins. You just get things where it's you're there and you're like. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I don't even need to play anymore now. I got this.
Yeah, they just give you all these things.
You're like, I'm here. I came to play, but I got this stuff. I already won. Like, I feel pretty good about it. Of course, you still want to. And in fact, it also makes you want to compete even more. If this is what they'll do for you for participating,
then
imagine what they're gonna do for you for actually winning. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
And prize support's always been like the conversation of Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like, we can't play for cash. I understand.
We know that.
But I think that if that's the case, then they should at least maybe put more into like winning these regionals than just a deck box or a mat.
And then the mat becomes like $30 online, like about a month or so later.
Yeah, it's not really.
It's like I could have just waited and just bought the mat. And it
kind of blows.
Yeah, it's not even enough bragging rights, and that's another thing too. Like Pokemon, they don't have as many events as Yu-Gi-Oh does.
So maybe they need more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when it does happen, it's a much bigger deal. I'm not saying we shouldn't have regionals every weekend. I love regionals to death. Don't get me wrong. It's just that theirs seems like a bigger deal when it actually happens. Somebody actually wins. It goes a longer way,
right?
As opposed to like a regional. Oh, I got first place this regionals. The next week somebody else got it. So who cares?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I feel like those are things that, as much as I love Yu-Gi-Oh,
I still love it.
And it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. This isn't meant to be us like bashing the game. Like, obviously, it's a channel about Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's just, like, I think that there are things this game does wrong, and they should be, like, criticized. Like, these are things that could be improved.
Because we as consumers should be able to criticize. We are paying the money, we are playing the game, we enjoy it, and we want to continue to enjoy it. So
right. So
we should be able to, give our opinion on it.
And let's pass the question off to you guys then. What do you guys think Yu-Gi-Oh! Could do better? I don't just mean like I want Stratos unbanned.
Exactly,
yeah. Or like that. I just mean like what things do you think compared to other games does Yu-Gi-Oh not do well to maybe maintain its community or make it feel more fulfilling to play or easier to get into? Because there's plenty that we left out. So.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. Thought it'd be a unique new perspective. So let us know that down in the comments. Thumbs if you like the vid. Subs if you love the vid. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our other stuff. Yeah. And also, we should, *, be at YCS Atlanta here in another week or so. So if we are there, you will definitely be able to meet us and say hi, take pictures, sign some cards, all that. Be great.
Yes. We'd love to meet you.
All right, well, that's going to be it. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
Go Patriots!